Hi everyone, I'm Miguel Mattox. I just finished my rookie season as a professional triathlete, during which I qualified for 70.3 World Championships Pilates, came in 31st. Other highlights include coming in 7th at 70.3 Gulf Coast and coming in 3rd at the Escape from Alcatraz Triathlon here in San Francisco. This is a new series that we're starting to document my training through the winter season into the 2024 race season, and yesterday I broke 4 bones in my shoulder. All right, where should I start? Well, we'll get to this in a sec, but a couple weeks ago, no, not a couple weeks ago, literally like 2 days ago, Jenna and I had this fantastic idea of like creating an episodic series in our YouTube channel, aside from our vlog that is more like how does a professional athlete train, and how does a professional athlete train through the off season to prepare for the 2024 race season. So we were like, that's a good idea, let's do it. Let's sit down and talk about what I've been up to training update wise the last few weeks, what I'm doing differently, and how I'm getting ready to attack the 2024 season. Fast forward one day, yesterday, and I was doing a long training ride, a 4-hour ride on my road bike, and about 3 hours and 58 minutes into the ride, I was descending down a hill to get back home, and I was taking a hard right-hand corner that I've taken a million times before on that bike in the exact same conditions, and this time when I took that turn, wheels slid out, and I skidded into the opposite lane, went down on my right side, broke my collarbone, my scapula, and 2 ribs. I consider myself really lucky, actually, because when I fell, there was a car coming in the opposite direction, and I slid into that oncoming lane of traffic just after that car had passed me. And the person driving that car pulled over immediately, started honking his horn so no other cars coming would run me over, because I was now lying in that lane of traffic. He got out of the car, helped me up, felt my shoulder because he had some medical training, and drove me to my parents' home where Jenna picked me up, took me to the hospital. I got x-rays done immediately. They found the broken collarbone, the broken scapula. They said that it takes a tremendous amount of force to break a scapula. So I needed to stay there a little bit more, get some more scans to make sure other things weren't broken and splintering into my lungs or other organs. And they found 2 broken ribs, but nothing that was life-threatening. So I was discharged, went home, and yeah, here I am with 4 broken bones in my shoulder. So the episodic series of training for the 2024 season has already taken an unexpected twist, is what we're saying. But besides that, I think it's important to chat about what I've been doing, because I've been doing some pretty exciting things with my training, and then where this journey is going, because I think, as I was saying, I'm lucky that nothing more serious happened. Like, it's just bone breaks. Nothing is severely displaced, which means the healing process in theory should be quicker. I'll be able to, if it's an option that is not going to, backfire in the long run, like surgery could be a good option to get me back and operating again at full strength. And it's my arm. Like I fear that these things happen to like a knee or an ankle or something, which for triathletes is a lot more of a hindrance than a shoulder, especially because I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah, who even needs a shoulder these days?
Yeah, no one needs, yeah, exactly. They can come back. So that's this. Jenna, should I talk about like the last few weeks of training.
Yeah.
At the end of last season, or I guess the transition into this cycle of training, I got a new coach. His name is Craig Upton. He's here locally in Mill Valley, California. He coaches for the Pro Tour team Quickstep, the Pro Tour cycling team Quickstep. He coaches triathletes at all different kinds of levels. He coaches endurance athletes at all different kinds of levels. He has a variety of experience and knowledge, and he's experienced, and more than anything, he knows what it takes to build to transform a good engine into something that can be a weapon on the bike, and then accompany that with some strong running form, and some good race tactics, and we're in business. So I'm looking forward to
Episode 2 will have better audio.
Yeah. So the training that I've been doing over the last few weeks, we've built up to this, but what we're building up to is this cycle of doing 3 big heavy days and 1 very easy day, essentially a day off. For me, I'm just doing a light swim on that day, but the 3 heavy days, they're big. It's what I was doing in my age group time, basically 2 days a week over the weekends. I was doing like, all right, this is a big run day, okay, this is a big bike day. Instead, most days I'm doing all 3 sports and doing an hour in the pool with some sort of tempo or threshold practice. I'm doing a long bike ride, which means 4 to 5 hours with some effort. And then, some days I'm doing a long run in the morning and then doing that 4 to 5 hour endurance bike ride day. So kind of a combination of those every day for 3 days. And if you add that up, if you do 3 days on, 1 easy day, 3 days on, you're taking a 7-day week, and I'm doing about 30 hours within that week. So that's the type of training that I'm building up to. It kind of starts with like 1 day on, 1 day off, and then 2 days on, 1 day off, and then eventually 3 days on, 1 day off. But yeah, I had just finished building up to 2 straight weeks of that 3 days on, 1 day off. So basically 2 30-hour weeks back to back. A lot of endurance time on the bike, a lot of long runs, utilizing the trails here, utilizing my road bike and the hills to provide the effort. So I'm doing a lot of like hill reps, using the big climbs that we have, and then for easy rides, just trying to find like these long and beautiful flat stretches. And I think for those 2 straight weeks, I had put in the most amount of load within a week for those 2 straight weeks, which I was really proud of. For this early in the season, it was an accomplishment to already be back there. I don't think I could say my fitness level or like my race readiness fitness level was where it was towards the end of last year, because we all know fitness is like the accumulation of week after week, month after month of good training, which I had last year. It's still early right now, which makes this even more of a bummer, because you're looking at the good work that you put in, and you're looking ahead being like, wow, this is unfortunate, because there are going to be some steps back. But steps back mean the fitness, the work that you put in doesn't go away. It becomes experience. Your body remembers how to do that, and it means you'll be able to get back to where you were a little quicker than before.
So what does this all mean now?
Well,
what are next steps here?
So 4 days ago, I guess on Tuesday, about 4 days ago, I did a lactate test, and I got a lot of my results back, and it was a different kind of lactate test than I've ever done before. The results were promising in showing what I needed to do. If you look at your lactate curve, everybody's shape is about roughly the same. It's just like kind of an exponential line. And I have a really good middle section, which means I'm really good at reusing lactate as stored energy, basically. So produce lactate, shuttle it, use it. that's where I was doing most of my training. And the result was there's a lot of opportunity at the far left end of that curve. Before I even start producing lactate, before I even start utilizing carbs to their potential when I'm exercising, there's something called fat oxidation that is something that I really need to work on. And if I work on that enough, if I do enough training in a very easy zone for a lot of volume, which we have the time and know how to do now finally, we can move that entire chart to the right, which means those higher zones and the middle zones that I'm racing in are all moved to the right, and it means I can sustain higher efforts at a lower lactate level. So not producing as much lactate, not using as much carbs within a race, so that when I get to the run, I'm still fresh on energy, basically. My brain still wants to go fast. My muscles are primed and ready to run fast. So that's the whole goal in my training. And I think one of the benefits of getting that lactate test back is, like right now, is it shows us that we just need to do a lot of easy volume. That should be the primary focus right now, especially, on the bike, is doing a lot of easy volume. And I think as I'll be prevented from riding outside a whole lot, at the very least, I'm going to figure out when I can get back on the bike inside and start doing that easy volume. I do have to manage recovery well and get this back to full strength, but I think there are ways that I can sustain and start building fitness again pretty quickly. As far as the injury goes, I am going to see an orthopedist very soon. My scans are in the hands of a local orthopedic surgeon who's going to take a look and provide some options on what the best road to recovery is. Whether that's just hanging out for 6 weeks and letting the body heal itself.
How much does this sling cost?
$300.
Or going to get surgery and expediting the process. But obviously weighing the pros and cons of both. I don't take surgery lightly, and I don't want to regret having surgery down the line. If it's something that's too invasive and it seems like it could cause some problems later down, I wouldn't want to do that to my body. It's about 17 weeks until Oceanside.
Does that mean
I'm not counting.
Does that mean that there's going to be 17 episodes of this?
We'll see. I hope to stay focused and motivated and grounded through all the ups and downs through this process. I've never broken a bone until this happened yesterday. So, I don't know what the next few weeks are going to look like. I really don't. But I think it's a good thing to take things one day at a time, and hopefully share this journey in a real and thoughtful way. Our vlog is not going to go away, but if you are interested in getting into the nitty-gritty of my training and my recovery, this is what these are going to be for, is to provide more insight into what I'm doing. I'll show some data, and I'll show some training peak stuff, things that could be interesting to everybody. But yeah, I was really excited about the results of the lactate test, and knowing exactly what we need to do to kick some butt. But we're gonna have to put that on hold.
Okay. It's a big smile for 4 broken bones. Okay, it's getting...
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. That's perfect.